These are the two major red flags that I use to filter out deals when I'm looking to buy rental property in the US. My name's David Garner. I've bought over 100 rental properties in the US as a non-resident foreigner, and now my team and I help other non-residents do the same. So the first thing I look at is price point. Anything under $100,000, I'm extremely wary of and I don't purchase. I've bought a bunch of properties in this price range and hardly any of them have worked out well for me. They tend to look great on paper because it's a cheap property. You buy a piece of real estate for not a lot of money. But in effect, anything under $100,000 usually means it's in a bad area, it's in a high crime neighborhood, you've got a very challenging and problematic tenant base, it's going to be very difficult to collect rents, they don't look after the property very well, and you get all sorts of management issues, and the cash flow that you think you're going to get from that property is never as consistent as you would like it. And oftentimes it just stops altogether and you end up in expensive evictions and expensive turnovers. And I've actually bought properties like that that have ended up costing me money and I've lost money on those deals. And it's sometimes pretty hard to lose money in real estate, but I've done that. And the reason is I bought these cheap properties in questionable neighborhoods and it's never really worked out well. So the first thing for me is price point. Another thing to mention with price point is you're not going to be able to finance anything under $100,000. Banks and other lenders won't allow you to use a property of that little value as collateral for a loan. And I think if a lender won't allow you to use it as collateral, that speaks volumes about the kind of property that you're potentially buying into there. The second red flag for me is yield. Anything that's marketed to me as a high yield, especially passive income investment, is an immediate red flag. And again, this goes hand in hand with the price point. If it's a low cost, high rental yield, it's low cost for a reason. And the high yields that you see on paper are just that. They're on paper, and it's highly unlikely that that property is going to perform as well as you think it will. You're going to have problematic tenants, you're going to have issues collecting the rent, you're going to have issues evicting those tenants potentially as well. Those tenants are going to do things like not pay the utility bill, they're going to not look after the property particularly well, and all of that's going to cost you money. And I'm speaking from experience there. I've bought these kind of houses and they never really work out as planned. So for me, I won't look at a property that's worth anything less than $100,000. Really, I want $150,000 plus. That seems to be the sweet spot when you start to get a better quality of tenant and a better neighborhood. And I'm looking for houses with reasonable yields. I want cap rates of 6, 7, maybe 8%, but anything more than that, and I start to get a little bit suspicious about the quality of the underlying property and the underlying tenant. So those are my two red flags. If you want to learn more about investing in US real estate as a non-resident foreigner, you can follow me on any of the social media platforms.